Good afternoon, everyone. Fake news across the planet? Just months ago, China is going to be cracking down on social media rumoring. Now, Asia pushed crackdown on fake news. Even in the Vietnam press, sharing makes you a liar. Is this going to be the next step they're going to use to stop sharing about the crop losses on our planet? Take a look at the hailstorms in Vietnam, ground-to-sky lightning in Moscow, UK as well. Interesting. These areas in the red circles that I believe are going to go offline because they're showing year upon year losses and this year delayed planting. Also, I'm calling these two areas in the red circles reduced yield this year. Shouldn't I be able to share that in my social media feeds? And while you're doing that, take a look at CBD oil and Hemplucid. Seems to be very apparent, in my opinion, that internet is going to be highly regulated during these crop loss times. Just a couple of months ago, China put in the most stringent internet crackdown up to date in the country, and even passed new laws that says news feeds are not allowed to use any source from social media unless they're approved by Beijing. And when looking into China's history, you can see every grand solar minimum, their dynasties collapsed. So of course they're going to try to keep the spreading of price increases for the food and also crop losses from circulating within the country so people don't go on a mass purchasing binge when they see food getting more scarce. Now you would expect that from China, Great Firewall. How about in the US, Twitter, Facebook, oh that's Europe too. But now Asia pushing to crack down on fake news. Everywhere from Bangladesh all the way up to Korea. Same. Now it seems like the impetus is over in Malaysia for this new movement where they're saying that there's long-standing religious and ethnic divides within the countries with multiculturalism, and by each individual ethnicity sharing their own news, oops, it can go viral on social media and reach a massive audience. They don't want that. And another thing, it's going to be used absolutely. Political opponents is one thing. Stifling dissent goes right into the crop losses. And the way they fixed it, it's a catch-all definition. Wholly subjective. So who is the overseer that determines whether it's true or not true? Here we go. The entire world is on the same bandwagon, and I am going to say it is to stifle dissent and stop you sharing info about what's happening and where it's happening with the crop losses. And even on VN Express International, this is the image they were running with the story. Sharing makes you a liar. Now, I think it was a spoof. I'm not sure, but if people around the world aren't able to share information about our food growing, or even talking about the losses that aren't legally reportable, or then what happens if you're not able to share except the government-approved yields? Then where does that leave us? And when I was in VN Express, I found this interesting article about an hour-long hailstorm. Hail that was coming down was about the size of a grape. Thousands of homes damaged and about 1,000 acres of cropland. That was fruit orchard as well as corn. And get it, results of a cold front entering Vietnam. This is back on the 16th. Image here for you how deep the hail was. Now moving forward, information just like this under the catch-all laws in Asia and China, and just to give you an idea of where we're going, we've just transitioned from the yellow section of the chart on the left. We've just moved into the green in the beginning of 2018. Our weather is going to go so far out of what you consider normal over these next 3 years. And I do believe this is the cause of so many headlines in today's news. And with this happening, the magnetosphere weakening further, we're going to start to see electrical phenomenon, plasma discharges, things that they haven't seen, if not in centuries, but millennia. Spectacular ground to sky lightning, Moscow. Looks like some Nikola Tesla invention powering cities and countries. Wireless electricity. Then we hop over to the UK. And this is that preceding front that's bringing snow on the 28th up to Scotland, parts of the northern UK, and also Ireland. I'd also like to bring you to the Maunder minimum temperature reconstruction map before I give you my 5 areas in Canada, United States, and Australia where I think there will be losses. This map does not include the southern hemisphere, but South Africa, Australia definitely are showing decreases. And if you see in the middle of Canada and United States, that darker blue right through the center, this exact same area where fields are still under snow. They're trying to tilt through the snow to break out the albedo effect so more sunlight can reach and hopefully hit the soil, warm it up, and melt it faster. That area in Alberta, absolute canola and wheat. South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, both spring wheat and winter wheat. And then if we go over to around Ontario, east of the Great Lakes, that whole area there as well. Jumping down to Australia, due to following cycles of the last 3 years of mounting yield losses, for sure the area around Mali in South Australia, not the entire western growing region, just that area right there. This is why I think there's such a push in the media right now to start to limit our ability to communicate within our countries first and then internationally second. And also, while we're on this subject, do yourself a favor, take a look at CBD oil and the benefits it has for your mind, your body, and your spirit. Hemplucid. And I've linked everything below in the description box. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video.